1960, Nigerian independence. From then on, colonialism in Africa was, for all intents and purposes, history. The celebration was a tribute to both pasts, the traditional past and the colonial past.
For some final words on independence, here is the Prime Minister of the Federation.
1960 is a very great year for Africa.
Being able to leave your country within only 2 or 3 days of its independence is a sign of confidence in the administration you leave behind.
Well, everything is, I think I would say, though people say nothing is perfect, but I think everything is perfect at home. We haven't got any trouble whatsoever.
Well, the same, unfortunately, can hardly be said for the United Nations.
From the information at my disposal, the Cabinet decided to transfer power to him as the General Officer commanding the armed forces. It means an abdication of power. And it means then the suspension of the President, the Prime Minister, the 4 regional governors, and the 4 regional premiers. In other words, the civilian authorities have found it impossible to maintain law and order and have transferred same to the military authorities until law and order can be maintained.
What's not so clear is who its real backers are. The man at present being put forward is the Army Commander, General Agui Ironsi, who arrived at the heavily guarded Parliament buildings to hold the new administration's first press conference.
The federal military government in Nigeria has taken over the administration of the country. Functions of the federal military government in London.
May I ask the General whether he regards his administration as a permanent or a caretaker administration?
My main concern is to restore law and order as soon as possible.
In May, Ironsi abolished the regions by decree. This was the last straw for the North. There were riots and another coup. Ironsi's regime fell after barely 6 months. At Ibadan, among northern troops, he was killed. Looting, rioting, ambushing left thousands in September 1966. Major General Gowan. He was a northerner but a Christian, a man from a small tribe, not a Hausa or a Fulani.
All foreigners in Nigeria are assured of their personal safety and should have no fear of being molested. We shall continue with vigor the policy of providing a climate conducive and attractive.
There was a bloodless coup today in Nigeria, which is Black Africa's biggest and richest nation and the world's 8th largest oil producer. The overthrow of strongman Major General Yakubu Gowon reportedly was engineered by the head of his personal bodyguards. Gowon received word of the coup while at a meeting of the Organization of Africa.
Fellow Nigerians, events of the past few years have indicated that despite our great human and material resources, the government has not been able to fulfill the legitimate expectations of our people. Nigeria has been left to drift. This situation, if not arrested, would inevitably have resulted in chaos and even bloodshed. In the endeavor to build a strong, united, and virile nation, Nigerians have shed much blood. The thought of further bloodshed, for whatever reasons, must, I'm sure, be revolting to our people.
The Supreme Military Council has been meeting to consider, among other things, the conclusions of the military tribunal appointed by the federal military government to try those involved in the abortive coup of 13th February. The Council has confirmed the sentences passed by the tribunal. Those condemned to death by firing squad have been executed today.